Welcome to Selective Imagery. The title of this video is A Few Warm Days. Managed to get a few days in the low 50s in the early AM at Huntington Beach State Park in South Carolina, in between all the rain that we had in the last week. So I'm going to share some video clips and some stills with you of the activity in that area. So enjoy. We start off with a beautiful pose by a great blue heron. And here we have an ibis, just relaxing in the early morning light. A few other ibises are nearby as well. And of course, we happen to have a few wood storks also. Mergansers, they're always cute. Here's a quick video clip of the husband and wife swimming around a little bit. And this is on the marsh side. You can see the water rushing by them. The tide is starting to come in. But they're fun to watch. They're also what I would think would be a tasty meal for the eagles that are in the area, the few eagles that we have. Greg Wilson from Greg Wilson Photography had a short clip of a merganser getting eaten by an eagle. Here's a cormorant in flight. And a quick clip of a couple pretty immobile wood storks, a little on the young side, but they didn't move much. I tried to get them to pose and do something interesting, but we didn't have any luck with that. Then in another corner of the pond, we had a few spoonbills and friends. Here's a quick video clip of some of the great egrets hanging out. Yeah, the sun was just touching on that end of the pond. And the lighting is always a challenge with nature photography because it's always changing, especially if you have a partly cloudy day. And sometimes you just take something that's interesting that's not a bird. These cattails that are starting to break up and getting eaten by birds. And here's that same corner of the pond a little farther up where you have a few spoonbills hanging out with some great blue herons. These guys were really far away. nice to see they're still hanging around though. You know, we're almost into December now. And last year, I think I mentioned in a previous video that we had a couple of them that hung around until almost the end of December, thereabouts. Eventually they get smart and they go back to Florida. We have a red-winged blackbird on a post, and an ibis looking for some food. Here's another video clip of the merganser just swimming around, the male. And he's basically just kind of like, I don't know if I want to call it bathing, but he's just diving in the water, going in, popping up. Doesn't have any food or anything, so I'm assuming he's just kind of washing himself off a little bit. Now coming up, we also have some white pelicans that have been visiting us, which they tend to do in the wintertime or in November time frame. Once in a great while, you may see some actually in the summer, which is, well, I guess it isn't overly rare, but it's just a fleeting visit. Whereas, you know, when you hit November, you pretty much see them every time you go down, through the colder part of the season. Now upcoming, we have some osprey shots. It's nice to see that we at least have had a few osprey to look at and watch. And this one, is doing its normal flyover, gets that look like it's going to dive, and it's about ready to do it. And there it goes. Now once it hits the water, it just pops up and you're waiting to see if it managed to get a fish or not. They're actually pretty good. They have a pretty good success rate, and as you can see, this one did get a fish. Here's a clip of the ospreys in flight. There's a pair of them here. Not as many as we would like to see, but with everything that's gone on in the park this year, it kind of was to the detriment of the normal cycle of things, especially with the ospreys. I mean, there really haven't been a lot of ospreys getting fish. I mean, just seeing it in the last couple days, or I should say the last week maybe, but not in any large quantities. But it is nice to see at least some activity. But it did get affected by a lot of things that went on, whether it be water level control or a lot of the work that was being done on the roadway, which was very noisy, kind of kept the birds out of it a little bit. And here, one just crossed the other osprey in the sky. And this video will last a little bit. You could just observe the behavior as it's looking for some food to eat. When it comes to getting food, I actually enjoy the action and the activity of an osprey more than an eagle, to be honest with you. The eagle makes it look way too easy. And if you think it's easy trying to get one of these guys actually getting something, it's not, because they could do this, fly a little bit, hover, do a fake dive where they almost hit the water and pull up the last second, and then they can fly to the opposite side of the pond, so you're trying to follow it and keep up with it, and then it'll switch directions and go the other way again. So you know, sometimes, you know, you get desperate because you don't see them that often, so you try to follow them. Other times you just try to stay in one place and hope it comes back and grabs a fish like this one did. So there were a couple of fish grabs over these 2 days, which was great. And we moved back to the Merganser. And I believe this video, yeah, is you get to watch the Merganser take a drink, which is kind of cool. Now this would have been shooting in the DX crop mode, so I get that extra crop factor, so I can get a little bit larger image size in the frame of the bird, and it works real good. Pays to have it in one of your menu systems, either the My Menu or your Quick Menu, you know, the I menu or what have you, to be able to switch it back relatively quickly. Here's a few pictures of the Merganser in flight. Those are fun to try to get too, because you know, you never know when they're taking off, and when they do, it's like by the time you see it, it's already past you. And I like the specular highlights here near the beak of the Ibis. And a great blue heron just chilling out. And a great egret with a fish. And then we have another great egret with a fish as well. Zoom in a little on that. Eventually it does go down. Here we have a willet, and we're going to have a cute video coming up here of the willet bathing. This is the cute video out of the clips that I got over the last couple days. I really like getting pictures of the birds when they're taking a bath. Pretty funny. And this is in slow motion when it's flapping its wings. If you saw this at full speed, you'd be like, holy cow. You know, it does dip its head under the water a few times and pull it up, you know, to get the head wet, but obviously it's flapping the wings. It's really trying to get any dirt or debris from in between the feathers as best as it can. Yeah, drying off, and I'm going to walk over and say hello to a few friends now that he's all cleaned up. There they are. Here's a group in flight, and then a pair, male, female. Now we have a video clip. It's a juvenile eagle flying over the treetops. Eventually this eagle is going to be greeted by two adults. And they kind of chase it away for a little while, but eventually it does come back, so I don't think it's leaving the area. I don't know if it's, you know, a child from the previous year, but even the children, once they get out of the nest and they're bigger, the adults aren't always thrilled to see them. They don't greet them with open wings, as one would say. Here's the two adults, you know, flying in tandem. Sometimes they get so close, you know, it looks like they're just going to hit each other midair, you know, a midair collision. I mean, like right there, you know, you would think, oh, they're gonna hit each other and crash. I mean, obviously, those are the birds that, I don't know, I think are the most majestic. They're the ones that we all identify with, obviously, for our country. Incredible birds. There's that juvie that just showed up there briefly. We have a little wood stork shot here, and this will be the last video clip coming up of the eagles. Luckily, they got a little bit closer, so they're a little bit larger in the frame. I don't usually crop the image in the video software. I leave it how I shot it. But what a great bird. So this is the end of the video. I thank you for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like, share with your friends, and as I always say, enjoy life, capture some of it, get out there and shoot, and have a good one. We'll see you again soon.